When the girls heard the scream, they rushed inside Dog's stockade. When they headed inside, they found Jody on the bench. She was the one who was screaming, and it was painful. Dog was there with her along with the other doctors and nurses. By the looks of it, Jody was going into labor. "What's going on?" Velma asked. "She's having contractions." "Did you bring the supplies back?" Dog asked. "We did, and we found a book called The Frontier of the Dead. It may help us kill the cat creatures and turn the zombies back to humans. It will also pretty much help turn the world back to normal," Thorn replied. "That will help us. Doctors, take Jody to the medical station," Dog barked in order to the doctors. They nodded and took Jody there. Mystery Inc. and the Hex Girls led Jody to the medical station. When they got there, the two guards who were supposed to be on duty on lookout were not doing their job. "What is going on?" Thorn asked the guards. The doctors then took Jody inside the medical station, followed by Dog, who was seeing two of his men not doing their jobs that they were assigned to. "What the fuck are you two doing here?" Dog questioned as he started to rant. "Dog, why are you so mad?" asked one of the guards. "We got how many zombies are outside of the stockade, which you were supposed to keep an eye out for?" Dog ranted. "We were on break, but then we decided to slack off, but..." One of the guards was then cut off by Dog. "You better do your goddamn job right now, or you're going to be food for the zombies out there. Do you understand?" Dog growled, to which the dog gulped. "Yes, sir." The dogs then quickly ran out of their stations. "What is happening, Dog?" one of the nurses asked. "Jody's having the baby," Daphne answered for Dog. Jody then screamed again, and as she laid down on the mattress with blankets. "Now?" One of the nurses stayed in shock. "Yes, now. Apparently she's been having contractions since we were on a mission," Velma stated. "What can we do?" Fred asked. "Whatever you and your friends could do," Dog replied. Dog, I think Jody's screams might have alerted the horde in the distance. "We better defend this place," Ox said, as he armed the Hex Girls and Mystery Inc. with strong weapons. "Zoinks! Like I'd rather be dead," Shaggy stated. "We are doing this together, Shaggy. No one is stepping down," Velma said. So as she and everyone else stepped outside of the stockade, Daphne just stood beside Dog and Jody. "We'll be outside. We'll hold off the infected," Daphne said to Dog as Jody looked at her. "We'll be fine, Jody. Hang in there," Daphne reassured as she stepped outside the stockade. Outside the stockade, there were zombies. Some of them were irradiated and some were mutated. Others were normal. Mystery Inc. and the Hex Girls got out their weapons and started firing their guns at the zombies. A wave of zombies died down, but more and more of them still kept coming in, and the waves just kept going. Jody's screams of pain were attracting them, and the survivors didn't know how much longer they could survive in these waves of zombies. "There's too many of them, guys. We need a plan," Ox said. "We need to do something, gang, but what?" Fred wondered. Then Velma saw a large tank truck not far from the stockade to the right side. "There's a tank truck not far from the right, as one as the one on the left," Velma said. "Like, how is that going to help?" Shaggy questioned, as he fired yet another shot to gun down a bloodhound zombie dog. "The keys might still be in the truck, and there's a tank on the other side. We could use those to block the zombies off," Thorn said. "Fred, you go to the truck on the left. Thorn, go to the truck on the right. We'll cover you," Ox barked as Fred and Thorn raced through the infected to get to the trucks. Thorn and Fred had both turned the trucks on, and they drove the trucks to the blocked intersections near the stockade. Once they did that, most of the zombies were blocked off. "Oh shit, they're still coming from the unblocked intersection," Luna said, seeing one of the intersection not blocked by zombies. They were still swarming, so Velma saw a gas canister and had an idea. She saw a Molotov not far from there. "We'll have to pour the gas on the ground away from the stockade. That will light the infected on fire to kill them. I'm not sure if it will work, but it's worth a shot," Velma stated. "Will that even work?" Daphne asked. "How are we going to light them on fire?" Dusk added. "This Molotov will work. I'll throw it at the infected, and the fire from it will lit up, and it should wipe out the infected," Luna replied. "Shaggy, you and Scooby run around the infected and empty all the gas onto the floor. Get some of the zombies if you can. Once you guys are out of the way, Lunar can light them up," Velma instructed. Like, are you sure this is safe? Shaggy asked as he got on Scooby's back, as if he were riding a pony. It will wipe out the rest of the infected. Empty this gas can all over the ground to get away from the stockade and the zombies. We'll cover you guys, and Lunar will light them up, Fred reassured as Shaggy handed the gas canister there as Scooby got on. Go, guys, quickly! Ox barked. Scooby dashed out of the safe area and into the streets not far from the stockade. As Shaggy held on to Scooby, he poured the gas all over the pavement and some on the zombies as well. Hurry, Shaggy and Scooby! Lunar's about to throw the Molotov, Fred said. Like, we're going as fast as we can, Shaggy shouted, and as soon as the gas canister was out of gas, Shaggy and Scooby ran past the zombies, and they got back to the safe zone just in time. By the time they arrived back, Lunar lit up the Molotov and threw it over the zombies. Once the Molotov crashed onto the floor, flames rose from the zombies and into the pavement, killing most of the zombies within sections. After a couple minutes, it started to rain, and the rain had put out the fire that they started. All was left was burnt corpses of zombies. We did it, Scoop! We'd killed them! Shaggy said, giving Scooby a pat on the head. Hooray! Scooby replied. Then the gang headed inside the stockade. Once inside the stockade, they headed inside the medical building. They saw Jody in one of the rooms. She lost what seemed to be a lot of blood. Dog stood there with the nurses, holding a baby in his arms. Jody was crying. Dog, what? Daphne was about to ask when the baby started crying. The group thought the baby was dead or something serious must have happened when it was born. But it turned out that the baby was okay. Mystery Inc. and the Hex Girl sighed in relief. The baby seemed to be healthy, but Jody on the other hand wasn't really in great shape at all. Is Jody okay? Velma asked, seeing a lot of blood surrounding her. She lost a lot of blood, but she's being monitored right now by the doctors and nurses. Dog replied. Is the baby okay? Dusk asked. She's fine. Jody's mainly we're concerned for now, Dog explained. Then one of the nurses took the baby from him as he looked over at the gang and the Hex Girls. I think Jody may not make it so someone will have to raise her child. Who would do that? Daphne asked. I was thinking maybe I could raise her if Jody doesn't make it, Ox offered. I lost my daughter when the zombies broke out, and this is like a splitting image of her as a baby. Ox is great with kids, so I can't see why not, Velma agreed with Ox's decision. All right, you can look after her if Jody doesn't make it, or if she does, that's great. But for right now, all we need to do is rest for the night, Dog stated. Then they all headed for bed. The next morning it was around 11 a.m. when Mystery Inc. and the Hex Girls woke up to see Ox. He was standing near the cafeteria doors and seemed like he was doing okay. But they weren't sure. Morning, Ox, how's Jody? Thorne asked, expecting the worst to come. If Jody died in the middle of the night or in the very early hours in the morning, the news of her death would pretty much be dreaded to hear. She's gonna be okay. She's gonna make it. So we're home free so far, Ox answered. You all slept pretty late. Yeah, like that we were stressed out a bit from last night. Fighting all those zombies wore us out, Daphne said. Has Rose ever returned to her with her men yet? Velma asked. Not yet. Dog and Lunar and I are getting worried, so we'll be getting a hold of them and see where they are. We may have to find them, Ox replied. Mystery Inc. and the Hex Girls were eating in the cafeteria when Scooby brought in the radio from the table. It suddenly picked up a signal. The radio's got a signal, gang. I hope Rose is okay, Fred said. This is Rose Martin. My men were killed by whatever this monster is. I'm getting close to Prinect 13. It is located in the southeast area. You would need to go through a zigzag-like pattern. When you get close to where they are to Mystery Inc. and the Hex Girls, keep in mind that Prinect 13 is the only functional police department in Fairview. Chief Jackson knows our situation with the zombies and the cat creatures. Go to Prinect 13 and kill the other cat creatures. After Rose stated that on the radio, the gang were shocked to know where Rose was located. They now knew they had to be on the move again, and whatever monster killed Rose's men, it was nothing known to men or women. Like, what is this monster that killed our men? Shaggy asked. It doesn't sound good. She sounds distressed, Daphne added. We'll have to head to Prinect 13. Dog did state that he knows the leader, Fred replied. We'll have to pack up and head there. Will Dog and his men be okay when we leave? Luna asked. They have strong walls and smart men, so I'm assuming that they'll be okay, Velma replied. She got up and headed for the doors and to exit out of the cafeteria. I'll tell Dog about this and go load up the mystery machine when you're finished eating. After Velma left the cafeteria, the gang with the Hex Girls discussed their plan to head to the next location. They were also considering heading to Pernick 13 to find Rose. And if she wasn't there, they were also considering heading to Pernick 13 to find her. If she wasn't there, their second option would have to be to Fort Pasture or the Circonauticum bunker. Those were the only hideouts besides Dog's stockade and Nastia's hideout, which the trip to Pernick 13 was going to be quite tough. I read about Circonauticum bunker. There's a doctor that is working on a cure for the zombie virus. I hope he creates it soon, as well as stopping the two other cat creatures and those scientists, Thorne said, as she muttered something under her breath, and it was something that she would describe how hard the apocalypse was on them, as well as Mystery Inc. Well, we all know that Steve died. He mutated into a zombie. Ever since he was bitten, he wanted to wait till the last minute before transforming, Luna said. Well, the fact that Lunar, being her partner, was requested by Dog to have him stick by her. Luna never really had the thoughts on dating, as she and her friends had been far into their career as the Hex Girls, going on their bands and performing music. Dating, however, was the last thing in their minds. Laura and Max are still out there, as well as Simone and Lena. We would have to stop them, if not at least the cat creatures first, Dusk stated. Yeah, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Thorne stood up and walked away, and as Thorne entered the armory to grab some weapons, her walkie-talkie started to pick up static. Hello? Thorne asked through the walkie-talkie. Sally, is that you? I thought I lost you guys along with Mystery Inc. A voice sounded, and it was Rose. She was somehow alive, which being missing for a few days. Rose? Oh my god, I'm so glad you're okay. Where are you? Thorne asked. I'm at Pernick 13. I got wounded badly by whatever this mutated zombie I encountered was. I am safe if you're wondering. Also, you and Mystery Inc. should come down here. Dog told Chief Jackson about our situation with the cat creatures and the scientists. Hopefully you'll make it there alive, Rose replied. Alright, we'll be there as soon as possible, Rose. Hang in there, Thorne said as she rushed down towards the common area of the stockade, where she finds Mystery Inc. and her friends, along with the mystery machine is. Thorne? Why are you out of breath? Shaggy asked, sounding confused. I talked to Rose, and she said she was on the walkie-talkie with me just a few minutes ago, Thorne answered when she regained her breathing back to normal. What did she say? Velma asked. She got badly wounded, but she's safe in Pernick 13. Chief Jackson knows our mission, so we should head there now. She said she was attacked by whatever this mutated monster was, Thorne answered. Did she really tell you what that zombie killed her man and attacked her? Fred asked. No, she didn't say, so I assume it was some mutated zombie or something, Thorne answered. But then again, there's so many zombies that are mutated, so that's kind of hard to remember them by name. No kidding. There was one with tentacles for arms that I think was a tendril, Daphne said. Fred encountered one at the supermarket just a few blocks away, so if there's more mutated zombies, then we'll know for sure there's more on the way, and we'll need to watch out for them. Me and Dusk saw a zombie was on fire, and we had to take more than bullets to kill it, Velma said. You will never believe on what me and Luna saw on our way to get our weapons. We saw a few more mutated zombies, Lunar also added. We'll have to prepare ourselves and head for Pernick 13. Find Rose, and I hope she'll be okay, Thorne said. Let's load up our vehicles. We'll head out first thing tomorrow. Why tomorrow? It's still light out, Fred asked. The sun is setting, Fred, so if you travel at night, it'll be twice as dangerous to travel, Velma stated. I agree with Velma on this one, Shaggy nodded in agreement. Yeah, Scooby added. We'll have to head out first thing in the morning. Doesn't that sound cool to you guys? Fred asked. It's far better than traveling in the dark, Daphne answered. The gang had settled in on the idea of leaving in the morning to Pernick 13 in hopes of finding Rose and okay and well. But Max and Laura, along with Simone and Lena, are still on the loose, and they will eventually find the gang to bring them down. But since the gang had already dealt with them a while ago, they weren't going to get away with it that easily.